Spain, oh, he's let him in. He's moved over. Oh, the French athletes had an absolute clear run.
Well, we alluded to it just now. The 4x400m relay heats coming up for men. I mean, there's just 2 heats. Great Britain going in this first heat. They are the defending champions. The Italians, well, 2 years ago in Munich. And there's the second, third and fourth leg runners waiting patiently in their little lanes there. I've not seen that before, actually taped off lanes, but anyway. The British quartet, we'll go through that in a minute. Let's have a look at the Czechia team. Michael Jasensky, Patrick Storm, Adam Smolka and Filip Krenek, their quartet. The Czechia team. The Hungarians, well, they didn't make the final 2 years ago. Czechs did, by the way. They were 6th. On that Hungarian team, Steigerveld, Enyengi, Val and Molnar. The Ukrainians, well, Pohorilko, Holubovic, Rodchenkov and Danilenko. We all hope they, of course, make it through. They've had tough times, that nation, those athletes. And the British squad, Lewis Davey, Michael Ohoyotze, Toby Harris and Charlie Carvel. Of course, Charlie Dobson, who took a fabulous silver last night in such a quick time in the individual 400, is not in that quartet. The Dutch, well, they're a strong squad. They finished 5th a couple of years ago in their quartet, Boas, Agard, Angela Klein and Nick Kink. And the Italians, Lopez, Accetti, Melli, Scotti, they will outperform themselves, you can be sure. They finished 8th a couple of years ago. They'll go better here, I'm sure, and I'm sure they'll make the final 2. The Irish, Jack Rafferty, Chris O'Donnell, Sean Doggett and Callum Baird will be on the anchor leg for them. They didn't make the final 2 years back. And the Swiss on the inside, well, Julien Bonvin, Charles Devonte, Ricky Petrucciani and Lionel Spitz. So just looking through the squads that are running here, and I can tell you that none of the top 5 athletes home in the 400 individual race last night are racing today. Not in these 4x400 heats. The Belgians have a totally fresh squad. Sakur, who was 4th in the 400 last night, and of course Doom was the gold medalist. They are not being used in this quartet. So the Belgians have a much stronger squad to come out should they negotiate this okay and in the final. Away they go. Looks like on the outside, Jasensky, it's gone off really quickly. Extreme left of picture out in lane 9 for the Czechs. The Italian squad with Brian Lopez on this opening leg for them. He's 3rd from right, going well at the moment in lane 4. Of course, they'll break from lanes when the second leg runner gets into the back straight after 500 metres has been run. But this is pretty even at the moment, although it does look like Ireland with Jack Rafferty struggling a little bit to go with the pace. Bottom of picture there in the green. Best of all, perhaps, is out in lane 7, the Ukrainian. He's had a brilliant leg. Pohorilko. He will hand over just in the lead. Actually, I say just in the lead, probably 3 or 4 metres to good. Solid leg there by Lewis Davey on that first leg. Well, into the second leg, they break from lanes at those pink cones. Or they should be cones, they're little markers. Anyway, it doesn't matter. The Italians have gone really well through this first 100. Vladimir Accetti for the Italians there, and he's in the lead, and the Ukrainians now beginning to go backwards. The Holubovic for the Ukrainians is back into 4th place, having taken over in the lead.
Yeah, the Italians getting a huge roar here. The incoming runners get placed where their athlete in their team is at the 200-metre point. And the British team are starting to motor, the Irish team are starting to motor. And let's check and see if it's a clean handover. Reminder, it's the first 3 and the next 2 that advance to the final. And a sweeping by the British athlete, but the Italians still lead.
Italy, Poland, Great Britain in 3rd, Netherlands 4th. Up into 5th are Ireland. They've had a great second leg. Down the back straight for Great Britain on this leg is Toby Harris. Michael Ohiotse ran a fabulous leg for Great Britain on the second leg. Toby Harris for Britain in the lead now as the Italian is beginning to struggle here. There's Riccardo Melli on the 3rd leg for Italy, and the Dutch are coming past him as well on this 3rd leg. The Netherlands then with Ramsey Angela looking strong in 3rd place, but this is brilliant running from the British. Davey ran well, Ohiotse well. Toby Harris, fabulous leg from him. He'll hand over to Charlie Covell. Britain in the lead, Italy second, Netherlands third, Poland in fourth, then Ireland and Switzerland with a lot of work to do. They're some way back, but actually the Netherlands and Poland in third and fourth. That's where the battle's going to be for the third qualifying spot, as Great Britain's Charlie Carvell powers on down the back straight. Aggressive running early on from the pole on this final leg. Looking really strong there down the back straight and up into third place. Great Britain leading, Italy in second. Hungary it is, excuse me, not Poland. Hungary in third place, and he's closing really quickly. What a leg this is from Attila Molnar. Can he catch the Italians? But these three are away. Great Britain, Italy and Hungary. They will qualify without any trouble. The Dutch a long, long way back, 3:01.69, and the Dutch probably fat end over 2 seconds back behind third place in fourth. They might struggle. Remember, as Kath said, the first three go through by right from each of these heats, with two non-automatic qualifying teams. Well, the Italians come through to second place. They will be in the final. That's great. You want the home nation team, the host nation, to have plenty of representation on the last day. The Hungarians, I thought they ran well. A national record, 3:02.09 for the Hungarians. They've just taken over half a second off their national record. Brilliant stuff from them. And the Netherlands, 3:03.50, and Ireland as well in fourth, 3:04.41 with a season's best. We'll have to wait and see if they can be the teams to get through on time.
Good race that, wasn't it, Tim? A really good race, and with athletes, as you mentioned, for all nations to be bought in. A really good leg by Toby Harries in terms of the Great Britain and Northern Ireland squad. And the Netherlands will be the first team stuck in one of those hot seats with their 3:03.50 clocking. But setting us up nicely after the first day of our mixed 4x4, which everybody enjoyed, especially the Irish team, of course, picking up a gold medal in that mixed 4x4 relay.
That's the final changeover between leg 3 and 4 of the Great Britain team. Toby Harries, Charlie Carvell. And I think if Great Britain can bring in Charlie Dobson, is there anybody else they could bring in, Kath, or is that the only change that could be made for the final?
Tell you, you'll have to keep out the call room, Martin Rooney. Do you know what I mean? As Jazz said, he's been pushed down the British all-time list now. You put a baton in Martin Rooney's hand, any track and field fan knows.
Tell me he's
that he'll still move.
Go. He must have learned to let go and put on a couple of kilos.
You never learned to let go, Tim.
It is a season's best for Great Britain. The national record for the Hungarians, that was the run of the race. The Netherlands, some way back, and they did hold back a couple of their big names, and I wonder if they might rue that decision. They were a long way back in fourth.
And back on the track, there's the pen that Tim was talking about for legs 2, 3 and 4, lining up ready and poised for their moment here on day 5 of the European Athletic Championships. Heat number 2 of the men's 4x400m relay. Poland, such history in the relays, starts in lane number 9. A little roar for Germany, their quartet that will start in lane number 8. Manuel Sanders will lead them off. Mark Koch will be on the final leg. Spain line up in lane number 7. David Garcia will be on the anchor leg for them. Oscar Husilos as well in the team this morning. He'll be on the third leg. A punch of the chest for Portugal, who'll start in lane number 6. Lane 5 will be led off by Kasper Kastadal of Sweden. France will line up in lane number 4. And on the inside line, another nation in Europe that do very well at relays, especially 4x4s. Belgium will line up in lane number 3. Dylan Borlée, of course, there's a Borlée in the Belgium team. He'll go on the final leg for the team in lane number 3. A reminder, it's the first 3 in each of these heats, plus the next 2 fastest that advance to the final. It's currently the Netherlands and Ireland that are in the hot seats with a time of 3:03.50 and 3:04.41. to join Great Britain and Northern Ireland, Italy and Hungary, who are automatically through to the long relay final. Heat number 2 of the men's 4x400m relay. Belgium, France, Sweden, Portugal, Spain, Germany and Poland. So a clean start. Always an interesting decision, sometimes made between the athletes and the team management in terms of relay order. Most teams like a strong runner on the first leg to put themselves in a good position. This is pretty even. Sweden moving nicely with Kastadal in lane number 5 at the moment, the familiar yellow vest of the Swedish team. Germany moving nicely with Sanders in lane number 8. The long leg, all done in lanes. Spain are hanging in there as well in lane number 7 with Canal on their first leg. But they're handing over, Tim, to the first changeover with just those 3 automatic spots available, Phil.
Yes, Belgium showing a very different team to the one that finished 3rd at the World Relays in Nassau. No Jonathan Sakor, who finished 4th in the individual 400 metres final. No Alexander Doom, who set that 2nd fastest time ever by a European. But Germany at the moment slipping back a little bit unexpectedly, but the Poles, Spain and Belgium occupy the 3 automatic qualifying places at the moment. But it's very bunched. And in 4th place at the moment, the French second leg runner, Theo Ansidon, I should say Gilles Béron, doing very well at the moment, keeping France very much in contention. But it's the Poles, and it's going to be Zalowski handing over to Bogsinovski. Belgium now looking very good indeed, with Van der Bemben having handed to Iguarcel, but it's still very bunched at the front.
It is, and Spillman's moving nicely, isn't he? Look at the 3rd leg runner for France. He's committed himself over the first 200 metres. Taking over the Belgium 3rd leg runner. Remember, just the first 3 guaranteed a place in the final. Theo Adont will be on the final leg for the French team. But he's overcooked it, the French athlete. He's treading a little bit of treacle at the moment as athletes move themselves into lanes 3 and 4 to eye the outgoing runner. And Belgium with Dylan Borlée on the last leg. There'll be not many more experienced in this heat, Phil, than a Borlée on the final leg for Belgium lead.
Dylan Borlée coming in as the younger of the Borlée family, following in the footsteps of his brothers Kevin and Jonathan, but carrying on the family tradition with aplomb. Now leading the way. Normally in this day and age, the lead-off runner for Belgium, but given in the heats the honour of being the anchor leg. He'll probably revert to the lead-off leg, assuming that Belgium do qualify, but they're looking as though they're doing it at the moment.
Yeah, Belgium, Spain. Oh, he's let him in. He's moved over. Oh, the French athletes had an absolute clear run in this second heat. Belgium comfortably through as well. 3 minutes, 0.77. Wow. He got given the clear run.
He did.
You moved out the way, you gave him a clear passage, and France qualify with 3 minutes, 0.77 seconds. Belgium automatically through, we'll see them in the final, and Poland as well with a 3:01.31.
And that semi-final a fair bit quicker by half a second and more from the first semi-final. It's looking as though Germany and Spain take the fastest non-automatic qualifiers. They nudge out the Netherlands and Ireland. But what a terrific run on that very last leg there for the Frenchman Theo Ardant, who did such a good job. Yes, Borlée looked as though he was just tying up quite badly, though, over the final 60, 70, 80 metres. A little bit of a surprise to see Borlée struggling so much over the final part of his stint.
Yeah, David Garcia as well was on the final leg for Spain there. He's puffing and a blowing, but Spain 3:01.45. As you mentioned, Phil, will take the second non-automatic qualifying spot along with Germany, and therefore have moved out Netherlands and Ireland. But that's going to be a great final. The names are going to come in, and the gold medal is going to be won, I predict, in a pretty quick time.
Well, as we look at a replay of that second semi-final, you do have a feeling that that championship record, which has stood since 1990, 2 minutes, 58.22 seconds, might just possibly be under threat.
Do you know what's interesting is you've got to feel sorry for them. The Portuguese set a national record in 6th place in that second heat, and they would have qualified from the first heat on time. They were quicker than one of the automatic qualifying teams. In fact, 2 of the automatic qualifying teams, Italy and Hungary, in the first heat. That is tough. That was a high-quality second heat.
We've seen it a lot, haven't we, Phil? With this championship.
Indeed, yes.
Great performances not being rewarded. Alistair Chalmers, the British 400-metre hurdler, his time not making the final would have won 3 editions previously of the quarter lap with the 10 barriers. Such is the standard in early June in this Olympic year of some of the performances here, Phil.
And of course, there is going to be a shake-up once we get to the final, particularly Belgium. We're expecting to see Jonathan Secours and Alexander Doom coming in.
Confirmation then, France, Belgium and Poland automatically through, and they're the small queues for Germany and Spain.